we are talking about how to start healing money trauma and how to reduce financial stress. This is a big one. Lisa, afternoon. Hi, Mom. So, yeah, I mean, money is a really touchy subject. And so I'm passionate about teaching it in a way of being trauma informed around it, because it's a very triggering subject for a lot of people. And trauma plays a massive role in it, and previous stresses around money, whether that's our own stresses that we've had in the past, or whether we've grown up around an environment or family that was always stressed about money. They greatly influence us. So yeah, let us know where you're from, guys, because I'm seeing some people it's the evening, it's the afternoon, it's the morning. So please let me know where you guys are coming in from. That's so good. So like I said, I'm super excited to teach this class. You can go ahead and ask questions as we're going. Feel free to, because like I said at the start, I can't see your comments. Yay, it's working for me today. Oh, Brisbane, Michigan, amazing. So I just wanted to start by saying that, and I have to share the disclaimer. So as we're talking about finances and money, so I'm not a certified financial planner advisor, nor am I a certified financial analyst, nor an economist or CPA, nor an accountant, nor a lawyer. I'm not a finance professional through formal education in any way, so it's up to you to take full responsibility for any financial decisions and seek advice from a qualified financial advisor or accountant, okay? So whatever that is for you in your country, accountant, advisor, that is who you go to around that. I won't be speaking about practical things like that, but I think it's important that I have that disclaimer, because we are speaking about money and spending money and receiving money and all the fun things about money. So for most of us, when we think about money, we can sometimes even feel it somatically right now. We can start to become tense when we think about money, finances, maybe when we think about our own money and finances. Sometimes we can feel excited when we're dreaming about the amount of money that we'd like to have. So there's definitely an emotional response to money. These sensations in our bodies can show up as contractions, anxieties, shutting down, feeling really inspired. It can be like a driver, it can be on both sides of the coin. But again, it can bring up a lot of emotions. And what I like to say to my root cause therapy students is, it's the emotions that drive behavior, right? The emotions are the ones that make us feel like as if something's real, and the thoughts come up out of there. And with thoughts connected to emotions, we take actions or inactions based on our emotions. So I thought it'd be really good to start with that, so you can kind of get that frame of reference for the rest of this class. Let's talk about financial stress, and I'm going to go deeper into this, but it really affects our deepest sense of security and stability when we have financial stress. So if I said to everyone, drop an emoji if you've had financial stress, probably 95% of us will put that up there, and would probably put it as one of the highest stresses, most likely. I know I'd be putting a lot of emojis there if I could go into how many times I was stressing about money. Because our money, having money or not having money, represents our ability to have our basic needs met. So when we don't have this resource, it can negatively impact all the other areas of our lives, and we know that. And the stress can, of course, impact those areas as well in a way that we often don't like. But our health, our relationships, how we deal with others can become strained when we're financially stressed, right? So this can be due to many times in the past, or imprints where we have experienced stress around money growing up, or maybe later in life when we had to become responsible for our own money. these money traumas become trapped in the body, in the nervous system, and this brings up red flags. And so that's why we can have these tensions around money, and then also have traumas from money. And then when we think about money in the future, the red flags start going in the body. And so, like I said, it can be a really triggering subject, and it can take hold of our emotions. Like when we have a lot of money, we feel like we're on top of the world, and then when we have no money, it can really affect our confidence if we've linked our self-worth with money. But on a deeper level, like I said, it's connected to survival, so it could even override that. It can hinder our ability to look at money. Like we need to look at our finances, we need to see where our patterns are. We need to look at different ways of spending and receiving if we're not in a place that we want to be, right? So if it hinders that, then we're not going to change. If we keep that quote, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So we need to get to the point where we feel safe enough to start looking at it so we can start to change it. And the other thing is, like, many of us actually have really deep desires around money, right? And a lot of us hide it because of the shame that we have for where we're at. And I tell you what, it doesn't matter where you're at. There's always someone that has more money than you, less money than you. That's really helped me, because no matter how much money you make, you look at someone else making more and you're like, oh. Whereas the past you might look at the current you and be like, you're doing great. Sometimes there's shame there that's linked to where we're at because of our past decisions. Because maybe we don't have enough, or we haven't had enough, or we made decisions in the past that are negatively affecting us now. So it's time to start shifting these, right? And change, because we can change at any moment. We can, with new decisions, new changes can happen in our lives. So sometimes there's some self-forgiveness that needs to happen so we can let go of the shame and start to move forward and decide that we have a different identity around money and start to behave and do things differently so we can get different results. We want to break the stress and money cycles, not only for us, but if we have children or want to have children for the next generations, right? Then we want to break the generational cycles as well. I'm sure, like, if any of you have children, you want to be able to give them not always what they want, because what they want is sometimes every single toy in the toy shop, but giving them what they need, and that having that feeling of, I can't provide what I want to provide for you, or, you know, they want to do swimming lessons or something and you can't. I mean, do it for that if you can't do it for you. So we're going to dive into the topic today. Like I said at the start, it's a little bit of a triggering topic. It could hit on some traumas. It could be uncomfortable. It could be, you could find some unease in your body. Some of you might feel excited and fine, but if you feel uncomfortable, you're feeling triggered, don't feel like you have to keep watching. The replay will be available. I would say just like pause the video and go aside and do whatever you need to do to regulate yourself, whether that's some journaling around it, you know, connect with your therapist or your healer, meditate, or go for a walk, whatever you need to do. So I don't want you to feel like if you don't watch it now, you're going to miss out and uncomfortable things come up. Do take that time aside to process what you need to. But if you're here, either, I'm guessing you want to shift your financial situation, or you have clients and you want to help them shift financial situations. So either way, it's an important topic, and it's something that I work on myself, I feel like almost daily, where I am constantly noticing and peeling back layers and learning about it. And when I started to do that, when I started to go, I'm going to stop being like overly spiritual and pretend that money is not a thing and that I don't want to focus on it. I'm going to focus on it so I can look after ourselves, but not only that, create bigger impact. And so peeling back all the generational trauma, the layers, the beliefs, ongoing, like forgiving myself for the decisions I've made in the past, knowing that today is a new day, a fresh start. I wouldn't say I focus on it all day, maybe just 5 or 10 minutes max. But if you can't grow something by not focusing your energy on it. The energy that you focus expands what you're working on. And if any of you have followed Dr. Demartini, he's all about if there's an area that you want to improve, then you have to go into it and study it. You can't just be like, well, I wasn't taught it in school or no one taught me, so this is just the way that I am. It's like, I know that I'm lacking in this area. But it's not easy when we have trauma and we can feel really blocked and shut down about it. And so when we feel blocked and shut down about it, then that's when we can do some things to help heal the trauma and regulate ourselves, so then we can open ourselves up to more possibility and being open to learning about it. But if you're, like I said, if you're in a state where it's too much overwhelm, then this is the right class as well, because we can start to work through that a little bit so you can get into that space of expansion. So in this masterclass, we're looking at a few key aspects. So we're looking at how our current money patterns are created. We're looking at how to bring awareness to our sabotages. We're looking at how to start shifting through blocks to receiving more financial abundance. We're looking at how to start to heal money trauma and how to start reducing financial stress. So if you're ready to shift, your own personal situation, or you want information to help others, then like I said, you're in the right place. So let's start diving in. So firstly, I want to say that money isn't actually the culprit in itself. Okay? Money isn't the cause of the issues, right? And a lot of you might be rolling your eyes and be like, what? Yes, it is. Okay, I get that. But money in itself isn't good or bad. Money in itself isn't, good or evil. Money in itself doesn't make people bad, right? It's money is just an energy. Money is just a tool. Money just gives us options, right? So it's a countable, definable energy, right, that has been created. And for most of the world, it's a system now that we use. Instead of like swapping a sheep for a goat or whatever in the village, now we swap money. So it's just a representation of time, effort, value, and needs, right? And it's just something we can do to exchange what we need, right? So I would say though that money is a magnifier. So there are some people that when they have money, it amplifies the bad that they do. I would say that when some people that are very loving and kind and compassionate have a lot of money, they can do a lot of good in the world. So it magnifies who someone is, definitely. But I think we need to step away from and unlink any beliefs that we have around money being in itself something wrong with it. Because if you're coming from that stance, your relationship with money, and think of it as like a relationship with a new friend or an old friend that you've fallen out with. If you think that person is bad, you're not going to create a better relationship and be in flow with them again, right? So if you can look at it in that sense, that can be really helpful. And yeah, like you said, Yvonne, it's the meaning we put onto it. So we really got to look at that and check into that, because that's the start of us opening up to the relationship again. I'll just give some examples. So when we had our addiction and mental health clinic, I noticed that when, say, a client got money from gambling or drug dealing or whatever, I had this sense of, and seeing their behaviors and what they did with that money, it's almost like the energy of that money, how they got that money, had guilt attached to it, negativity attached to it, right? And then they tended to, instead of spending it on good things and what they needed, because of their meaning that they put on the money and how they were going about getting it, they tended to spend it on things that made them feel more guilty, so more drugs or more gambling. And that was the vicious cycle that was happening. You don't often see people win with gambling, and then like, okay, awesome, and they walk away and pay down their house and put some in their superannuation, and you don't often see that. So it's really interesting around the integrity, around like money will represent your integrity as well. But it's really interesting in that sense. But again, money is a powerful tool, but it depends whether we do good or bad things with it, in a sense of from our own integrity, right? Because from today going forward, we're going to do things that are thinking about nurturing our future selves. We're thinking about how can I be more loving, more caring to my future self. Now, I talk about the past a lot, and even last week I did an inner child class for my root cause therapy students, and going to the past and nurturing your inner child and giving them the love that they needed. That's super important, but we often forget about looking after our future selves, and our future selves is going to be us in a week. It's going to be us in a month. And so when we look back, we can go, oh my gosh, thank you so much to our past 1 week, 1 month, 1 year self for making that decision to do that, for holding off something or investing in something, or right, something like that, where you are looking after, you're thinking about your future self. Your future self is in mind, right? If you want to go spiritual, it's all happening at the same time. So actually us looking after our future self or our past self is looking after ourselves in the now. It's just because we're in this 3D reality, in this linear time, that we have the concept of time, that we have to there's time that goes by for us to get to that future self. So yeah, anyway, I can go really deep in that in the manifesting course. And I'm going to touch on I've got a whole list of money beliefs that you can work through, but one of the beliefs that I noticed that creates a lot of sabotage is what I was touching on earlier, is the meaning that we put on money. And so the belief is money is evil, right? And so when I found a client that has a deep-seated belief that money is evil, and the origins could have come from, and this can be with any limiting belief, it could have been from a comment that someone said around them, just witnessing something, watching the news. It could be from past life, who knows? It could be from the family going through a lot of stress, and then we create a belief, like in the womb or when we're little, that money is a bad thing. It creates stress, so money is bad, money is evil, right? But when we're older, we're like hitting our head against the wall, like, why don't I ever have any money? Like, I need it. It's stressful, right? And so what happens is that, and what the symptom is that I don't want to be evil, so I don't want to have any money. Now, this is not on a conscious level. On a conscious level, we may not even know that subconscious programming or unconscious programming is playing out. But if we have that belief and we're all trying to be good and we're all trying to do our best, then having money makes us evil, or having money makes us bad. And so that's kind of like when we have money and then we somehow have to get rid of it before the next paycheck. We have to like get rid of every single dollar. But again, our future self is like, why did I do that? I've got no savings and this bill has come, and like, right? And so it's like, it's not looking after our future selves, but a deep part of us is like, no, I don't want to be evil, so I'm going to get rid of all this money. Or it's not good to talk about money in a relationship, so I'm going to get rid of it. But what it does is actually it creates what we're fearful of. It creates stress with money. It creates us having to do things that we don't want to do to get money. It creates us not honoring payment plans. It creates us not paying our credit card. It makes us go out of integrity, which does make us, I don't want to say a bad person. I don't want to say you're bad if you do those things, but it doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't sit well. We wish that we would have all the money there, so then we could pay all the things and people don't have to follow us up, and it's just a really lovely experience. So they're self-fulfilling prophecies, these limiting beliefs, they really are. And so another belief that's linked to that is I have to spend every dollar that I get. And that can be for several reasons. Someone might have trauma around money's been stolen from them when they were younger. Money, there's never enough money, so I've got to make sure I spend it all now because I'm not going to get any more. There can be little nuances around why we have those core beliefs, but if we look at our behaviors, they don't always become apparent. And that's why sometimes deeper work can really, really help with this stuff, being facilitated by a coach or a root cause therapist or something like that. So what I found for me, and I did this like in my earlier years, and then what I found with a lot of clients is that it's almost like our ego covers up the pain and it goes, and we go, money is not that important to me, right? It's not very spiritual to worry about money. It's materialistic. Oh, I'm not in it for the money, right? But at the same time, deep inside your mind, every time you get a bill, every time you want to buy something, every time you want to go do a yoga retreat, every time you're like, I'm going to set up a healing center, every time you want to buy a beautiful organic dress or something, or a crystal or whatever, you can't because you don't have the money. And so you can't fully express yourself. You can't fully express who you are if you don't have money. And so again, controversial with the spiritual world, and that again, it's just energy, right? If we were in a society where we were the medicine woman in a village and we were looked after and everything, different, right? And it might be that old mindset being brought forth into a society where literally we need money to survive. We don't go and forage anymore, right? So it's linked to our basic survival mechanism on a human level. And when we spiritually bypass, we're not looking at or caring about our human physical body on this plane, right? And so I think if you want to be really spiritually embodied, that we do need to take into account our body, and a part of that is having the resources so we can look after ourselves and not stress about it, so we can actually be there for people. So as my late father would say, and I just thought I'd throw this quote in there because I always think about him, because he would lecture me for hours and I never listened to any of it. I've listened to it later now, but I was too anxious around him, even though he was lovely. Now looking back, I wasn't like listening fully. But he would say, money doesn't make you happy, but it helps. And I really love that, because that's so true. In and of itself, it doesn't make you happy, but what you can do with it can really assist you in doing what you love, or however you see your ideal future to be, maybe more time freedom, or maybe setting up a non-for-profit or whatever. You've got to have your basic needs met. You've got to be grounded. You've got to be okay. So can you notice now, just listening in yourself, or maybe a client or maybe a loved one that does this, where they're like, they seem to be a little bit ashamed of their situation, so they cover it up with excuses. The ego covers it up, right? I've also met some people that they're like, yeah, I'm really abundant. I just feel the abundance of the universe, but then they can't like pay for something that they want to do, like a shamanic journeying or ayahuasca or whatever, right? So it's like, are you like, you can be on the spiritual level 100%. Like, I feel very supported on the spiritual level. I always have, but that didn't always feeling very supported on the human level. But they don't have to be spiritual people. Do you know anyone, or have you done this where you've kind of had the excuse? Like for me, I would I was smoked cigarettes for years, and when I tried to give up, couldn't do it for years. And so my ego built up because I felt ashamed that this drug had a hold on me and I couldn't stop it. I talked myself into and believed that I actually liked it. I was like, I love smoking. I love it. It's great. What I didn't probably realize doing is I was actually doing deep breathing that I don't normally do. So that probably helped, but it was disgusting and I smelled disgusting. And so the ego will create excuses because it's got a hold on us. We don't want to admit it, you know? So if someone says, or if you find yourself thinking, money's not that important to me, and look, it might not be, especially if you're already financially set in a sense. That means you won't be. But if you don't have money, which we need, like roof over our head, food and things like that, is it really not important? Right? So see if we can like start to, and it's not about saying to someone, I call bullshit, you do really want money, I'm sure there's things you want to buy. Like that's not the kind of people we want to be. That's not trauma informed. You don't, unless they're paying you or, you know, you're mentoring them or they've asked you to help, don't just go around like pointing that out to people. But if you're a practitioner or whatever, or even to yourself, if you feel safe to, then you can start asking these questions. And the other point I want to make is, you know, a lot of people say they don't care about money, but then they spend 8 to 12 hours a day away from their family, away from their home, away from their friends, working from the dark till the dark, like 9 to 5, 9 to 6, in a job that isn't really fulfilling their soul. For what? Money, right? They'll leave their kids at childcare, they'll, you know, like babies, and they'll go there. They have to because of money. So for us to say that money is not important, but then actually the behavior that we have in our life shows that it's of the most importance above love and above free time and everything else, then it's like, come on, a little bit, right? Again, this is a bit stabby, so don't just go around like saying this to someone without their asking for help, okay? But again, it's a contradiction, isn't it? So yeah, you'll find that what will happen is people have desires and money, they feel ashamed they don't have it, or they don't believe they can work towards it, and so they'll create those excuses and reasons as to why they don't have what they want, and then justify it with, you know, I'm not really into it. And it's not our fault, it's not their fault, it's, you know, all the other limiting beliefs and traumas that have happened where they don't fully believe in themselves, you know, and things like that. So, and the other thing is with desires, sometimes we were taught not to even have desires. So if there's generational money trauma being passed down, then literally just say you've got parents and their kid needs something and the parents like, we can't get it. Then what will happen is that child will start to squash down even having desires. Maybe they were felt ashamed of even saying it because the parents felt ashamed that they couldn't give the child that. And so they pass that shame down because they were feeling shame. And so then that person grows up into an adult, not even allowing themselves to go towards their desires. Yvonne, I think it goes both ways, like people that struggle spending money and just do not want to buy anything, or spending it and on increasing options to let money work for them, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, when you find that people are hoarding money, again, you're not letting their energy flow in and out. It comes from fear. It comes from trauma of maybe they didn't have enough growing up, of maybe, you know, money was taken from them and they hoard it. So, and then they don't allow themselves to look after themselves and things like that. So definitely can be different. investing is looking after themselves because they're thinking about their future selves. So either way, we want lots of money or money, like enough money to do what we want in life and have freedom. And then what will happen is when and I go really deep into this in the manifesting course, what happens is that we get the ideas, we get the intuitive downloads, we get an opportunity comes in, but then our human self, our nervous system, and all the generational trauma goes, no, you can't do that. No, what do other people think? No, you're not good enough, right? All of these things will pop up in our mind and we won't actually take action on it, right? So like, drop an emoji. Have you had an idea in the past? And I certainly did for years until I started doing this work properly. I was like, I had a business idea for like a year or maybe 2 years. And as soon as I did like one session, I took action on it straight away because my nervous system was like, yeah, that's right, Alison, it was unsafe. And I had all of these negative thoughts about, no, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. Right? And so our excuses, our worries, they all pop up in our mind. But if you're watching this, and a lot of you practitioners, what a wonderful piece of awareness as to why we're not taking action. And our soul will always find the best way for us to bring in our desires. It knows, and in the manifesting course I speak about the acacia records because it's like the big calculator, and it will know what's best for you based on your energy, what's in the highest and best good of everyone else, what mathematically works out, because I'm terrible at maths and I literally use the acacia records for that to work things out in our business. And so if we can start taking action on our soul's desires, it really opens everything up. It really does. So why though do we sabotage and do things that negatively affect us in the long run for our future self? Why does money cause so much stress? Why do we justify our behaviors now and then look back at our past actions regrettably? Well, it all comes down, like I was saying earlier, it all comes down to survival. So this deep part of our body, this deep part of our nervous system is always looking to help us survive. I don't want you to look at the body and the nervous system like it's a block that's in the way to me being rich, to me being wealthy, or to me having, a big healing business. It's not the enemy. It's actually trying to help us. It's trying to protect us. So let's not demonize it and spiritually disconnect from it. Yvonne, still working in progress. I still find myself feeling a bit uncomfortable. Tell people I'm here going quickly and I have flex. Yeah, Yvonne, new level, new devil. I'm the same too. It'll be like an ongoing thing. So yeah, you're getting better. So you're doing great. Lisa, I think that was for Yvonne. That's for you. Do practice in the mirror with higher amounts. Yeah, if you do mirror work, you literally look in the mirror and you can see your body go, ugh, when you say something that's not in alignment with your body. It's really funny. Okay, so the society that we live in today, like, we need money to have a family, we need money to eat, we need money to have a roof over our head, we need money to clothe ourselves. They are all the basic needs, and those needs won't be met if we don't have money. And that's why it's such a massive stressor, because the nervous system has directly linked money to that, which is actually correct for the times that we live in now, unless some of you live in like some kind of self-contained village, eco village or something. It is tied, and it's not something that we can generally untie in the state that, in the current system that we live in now in most countries, okay? And so the nervous system and the body is right. But we can have overwhelming amounts of stress and triggers if it's CPTSD, complex PTSD, things that have happened over and over again. We get to the point where the nervous system is like overly anxious and stressed, like we're going to die. Not that we're actually going to die, sorry, that we're going to have thoughts that we're going to die. I'm so sorry. That we're going to have thoughts that we're going to die. We have very anxious, just very worried. All the worst case scenarios pop up in our mind, right? I'm going to be homeless. How am I going to feed my kids? How are we going to eat tomorrow, right? All of those. And we're in this really activated state. And that's why, so as for human survival, that's why there's such a strong link, and that's why it stresses us out so much, right? And literally, I want you to imagine that you're in a cave, right? And so you're in a cave and it's thousands of years ago and you're with your family and you're wearing leaves and skins, and all of a sudden, and everything's fine, and you've got like the food around you, and you've got the Lisa that might put Yvonne in a shutdown state. She's freaking out. Everything's been quite abundant. You guys have been comfortable. You've been able to survive. But then all of a sudden there's an earthquake, right? And the earthquake has created a deep crevice, right? And it's coming in through the cave and it's blocking you off from where you normally go as a family to go to get food, okay? So this is what, because of our evolution over thousands of years, that was the majority of the history of our bodies that we have inherited. And so only for the last couple hundred years, we've gone into this industrial revolution, right? And so literally, can you imagine like the caveman scenario? That is what your body is thinking is what's happening. That deep crevice is you not having money. And so you can't have access to food. You might not have housing, right? And so that's where those worst case scenarios come up in our mind. That's where, you know, we can't like forage, we can't get food. Well, now we forage at the supermarket, don't we? But it's pretty much the same. Like we need, but we need money to take things out of the supermarket. So it's a little bit different. We literally go into the animalistic survival mode. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind for when you get stressed about money. It's not a spiritual issue often. This like spirit is fine. It's often it's your body responding in that old ancient behavior. Okay, foraging for chemicals. All right, maybe the farmer's market, Lisa. Love it. Just stay in the green areas. And then we go into the meat section and like spear what we want. Go to the checkout like that. So now we've activated this survival state. And so imagine we're back in the cave. Some of the family members will literally go into fight and flight. So they'll be like panicking and running, or they'll be like getting angry at everyone and frustrated, right? Or some people might be like fawning, like wanting to just, like the kids just like, right? Or some people might be full shutting down. So someone's like depressed in the corner, just rocking back and forth, right? We're going to have different reactions based on how many traumas we've had in the past and our personality, our limiting beliefs, all of our conditioning. So many different reasons why we could go into different states. But generally the shutdown response is like, I'm giving up. I'm going to go kind of starve in the corner over here. There's no point trying anything. So either way, and just say there's one family member, there's one person that is a bit different, they know how to bring themselves into a regulated state, then they might come up with the creative idea to make a bridge. They might come up with a creative idea to like pole vault over the I'm just imagining like pole vault over the crevice. When you're in a fight and flight, when you're in a stress response, the blood literally goes away from our prefrontal cortex and it goes into our extremities for fight and flight. And so when the blood goes away from our prefrontal cortex, the executive functioning is not happening, which means we can't think of creative ideas. We can't be present in the moment. We're not thinking straight. We can't think of, ways to work out how to, what we can do in a very balanced, clear way. And so that's why when we're in an activated state, it's really hard to hear our intuition. So I see the nervous system is almost like the antenna for downloading information from our higher self, from God, from the universe, whatever you want to call it. The antenna is all fuzzy now because it's all about looking after the human body, making sure it can survive. That information's not clear, so we don't know the best thing to do. And what happens is we start getting stuck in these cycles of constantly being stressed because from the stress state, we think about ways to solve it from a stress vibration, which creates more stress often, right? So that's where the pattern continues, where next time we're stressed, we think, okay, the way to resolve it is to get more money. But when someone gets more money, whether they've borrowed it, whether they got their next paycheck, they have this sense of, oh, what a relief, right? And it's almost like a drug. It's like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. All of a sudden, in that stress state, they made a decision to get the loan, which is not looking after their future self. In that stressful state, they're like, I'll just wait for my next paycheck and it'll all be resolved, which was in a stressful state. So now that the stressful state is gone, the money is there, the body is like, we don't need to survive. All of a sudden, we're not going to think about ways to stop that happening again in future because everything is okay now, right? And so what we need to do, what would actually be better, is to be able to regulate ourselves when we are in the stressful state, be very aware of what's going on, be able to calm down and go, this feels shit, this doesn't feel good, I'm going to break this cycle. Otherwise, if you do it the other way, where you just think more money is going to resolve your money issues, which it doesn't, it just amplifies them, you're going to be okay, you're not going to change anything because it's almost like you've forgotten about it because you feel better, and the pattern's going to keep repeating, right? And so we need to catch it when we feel shit about it, basically, for lack of a better statement for that. And so okay, you might be like, all right, Mel, so all right, I've got to notice when there's a negative pattern coming up, and well, how do I calm down, or how do I get into a state where I can resolve when the actual issue is happening, rather than just thinking just more money will resolve this pattern that keeps happening over and over and over and over again. So we need to start to regulate ourselves. So I'm just going to do this with you guys. And again, if it's triggering for you, if it's uncomfortable for you, don't do it with me. Step away and do it with your practitioner, whatever you need to do. But when I say the word money or your finances, what comes up in your body right now? And if you feel to share, you're welcome to comment. If you want to keep it to yourself, 100% fine. Do you feel any particular sensations in your body? Do you feel any emotions? It could come up as tightness. It could come up as feeling tension. Right? It could come up as a thought or a statement. And I just want you to notice it, maybe jot it down. Awesome, Michelle. Thanks, Lisa. Heaviness in the belly, Yvonne. Gotcha. Okay, and what I want you to do is just tuning, like putting your awareness, putting your consciousness and just focusing on that area really gently. And I just want you to just kind of breathe into it and just, you can just ask it like, where have you come from? And some examples might be, some traumas that have happened in the past. And again, just tune into that. Now, some of you are writing that you feel excited. Excited is still activated. When it comes to manifesting, and again, I go through this in depth in the course, you want to get to the point where it feels normal. If you feel excited, overly excited or anxious, if you feel activated, there's still some resistance where you've made it separate from you. But that's all in the manifesting course. But you ideally want to get to a space where you feel peaceful around it, where you feel regulated around it. Of course, when you make a new goal, you are going to have those sensations, whether they're like overly excited or whether they're anxious, because there's a gap of time between you and receiving that. But generally, to actually have it brought forth, you want to just feel comfortable, just like when Yvonne and that was talking before about charging. If you feel activated about the amount that you're charging, people might feel that because you're dysregulated. Whereas if it's normalized, if you feel very embodied, if you feel very sure, very grounded in it, then it's easy to tell someone, right? Because you don't want to get a shock when someone pays. That means that you're probably charging a bit too much. So tuning into that, is there any thoughts, statements, limiting beliefs, traumas, anything coming up? Is this an ongoing feeling? Is this an ongoing pattern, right? How strong is it out of 10 in your body, right? And I just want to say that some people that have been through a lot of trauma, when we're doing this work, you might start to disassociate and disconnect from your body, feel like you're not in your body. And that's totally fine. That might come up as your whole body's gone numb, your whole body's gone cold, your body feels like a black hole, you can't feel anything. That in itself can be a sensation as well of disassociation. And some of you watching are practitioners, you might have already done some of this work and you feel quite peaceful around your finances right now. But just follow along anyway, because you might have a client that presents with this stuff. So yeah, just starting to become aware of these somatic responses in our bodies, they can really help, because again, it's like our body is just trying to act in our best interest, trying to help us survive. And what it thinks is best now is to avoid death and pain and starvation. So it's like, thank you, nervous system, for trying to look after me. I can feel you freaking out, right? I'm here. It's gonna be okay. Right, so I just want you guys to know, just breathe out of that now, just right. So again, that just leads on from the last section, is about like, how do you know when you're feeling uncomfortable around money? That's all you need to do, is just kind of scan and feel into that. That's basically the first step, right? And then you want to start to regulate it. And so regulate it could be first having the awareness and then going, I'm feeling really unsafe about how much I have in my account. I'm feeling really worried about what's coming in. I'm feeling really stressed about not signing up clients. I'm feeling really stressed about there's a big bill that's come in and I can't, and it's like a shock to me, right? Because I buried my head and I haven't looked at my bills, blah, blah, blah. And so then what we want to do is like thank our bodies, feel into that, and then we want to start maybe do some regulating exercises, and that can be different for everyone, but generally thinking about a time, a place, or a thing that makes you feel comfortable. So I will say though that sometimes when someone thinks about a person it may be comforting, but then also it might be upsetting because they've passed away. So just it being trauma informed, we just want to watch for those things. If that happens, then maybe think about an imagined or a real place that makes you feel really safe and comfortable, and just imagine being there and just really, whether it's touching yourself or just holding your hand or just closing your eyes and just imagining that. And what that's going to do is your nervous system's going to go, or you might yawn or sigh or just get a sense of relief and start to feel a bit safer. For me, my one was like when I was little, I used to lie on my mum's lap and I can hear a tea gurgling in her tummy and she'd be watching TV. And so that felt really safe. And that's something that when I noticed I was feeling activated, not just from money, but other things during the day, I would just imagine that and be like, and I would feel okay. And then I could take action again. I could download things. I could keep moving forward. I could look at things that were uncomfortable. I could look at something and go, this feels like a mountain, but just regulate myself and just do little baby steps, towards a project or something. So it can be really helpful. But then after like a couple months, it stopped working. So now I've asked for another one. And so I've got a new one at the moment that I tap into to get that regulation. I also have like an imaginary place where all my inner children are, and sometimes I'll go and kind of nurture them, and that helps. For some people, it's going to get a massage. For some people, it's going for a walk in nature. For some people, it's going for a swim. You don't always have to pull up a memory, but I just find for me, it's something to easily do at any moment. If my son's like having a tantrum, I can regulate my nervous system so I can hold space for him. Right? It's something I can quickly do. I can't be like, hold your tantrum, I'm going for a massage and then I'll come back. So it's like just something little like that can be really nice. For some people, it's seeing a crystal or having a crystal in their pocket and holding it. Whatever the anchor for you that brings safety to you into your nervous system, that allows you to feel a little bit more relaxed, will allow you to have a clearer mind and a clearer channel to be able to know what to do to move forward, to become more resilient, and to be able to do more to work towards what you want, what you need. So just say we have a certain amount of money for our rent in our account, right? And then we know consciously that we shouldn't spend it, right? But we're feeling really stressed, we're feeling really anxious, we're feeling really overwhelmed. Maybe some other big bill has come in, maybe something at work has made us upset, maybe there's an issue in our relationship, whatever it happens to be. And then our brain goes, what made you feel better? What has made you feel better in the past? And it will go and find a file and bring up a file. Oh, shopping makes you feel really good, right? Shopping makes you feel really good. Okay. And by the way, I think that's linked to us going and foraging and getting a dopamine response for that. So shopping is like the new foraging, right? That made me feel really good. And so you're like, no, consciously, like, no, I need that money for rent. This is me in my 20s, by the way, early 20s. I need that for rent. But our body's like, but I don't know how to feel better on my own. Like, I don't know how to, I just want to feel better. I didn't have all this awareness. And so like, I'm just going to go shopping. It'll be fine. It'll work out, even though I have no idea how I'm going to get the money that I need. And so it's just that instant gratification. My body, because your subconscious, your unconscious mind is so much more powerful, it will drive the behaviors. You'll just find yourself strolling to the shops, right? And doing the things that sabotage, right? And so when anxiety comes up, when anxiety and fear come up about money, when the stress comes up around money, unfortunately, like I was saying, what we do is create more issues because we're in a stressed and fear-based state. We're going to keep repeating those sabotaging patterns because we're not in that clear state. And that's why it's so important. So when we have these when we have these behaviors that happen over and over again, and maybe we're ashamed about it, or maybe people have commented on it, it's almost like we accept it as, this is my identity, this is my quirk. And so we go, I'm just someone that's not good with money, right? I don't really care about money. And this is when these deep excuses or limiting beliefs start to come up. And then it's even harder to shift because we've created an identity around this, right? And it could be starting from childhood, it could be like later in life. But it gets annoying, like you get sick of it. Like you've got to get to the point where like, I'm freaking sick of this. What is happening here when this happens? And next time the pattern starts to happen again, going in with curiosity and with full awareness, like, why am I doing this? Why am I not looking at that? I'm going to scare my body. Oh, I'm feeling that. Why am I feeling that? Has that come from something from the past? What is happening in my body? Okay, I'm going to regulate myself so I can actually face this and break those patterns, right? It's good when you start to get angry at something, when you get sick of the shit, when you get sick of yourself doing something, because that means you're going to have some extra energy to change. I think some people demonize anger, but I really believe it takes us out of depression. It takes us out of disassociation. It takes us out of shutdown, and the energy starts to ramp up and we can actually start taking action. So never think that, I think anger is only bad when it negatively affects others, but it's such a good moment when we like crack it at ourselves. Eckhart Tolle, Yvonne, when the pain is great enough, we make changes. Yes, exactly. Or another one is when you just get sick of your own shit, right? And like I said, it can happen at every level. Like it's an ongoing thing. It's not like you just break a pattern once and that's it. Often we'll have new goals, new things, like different stages in our lives that we want different things. So yeah, there's so many layers. This is like very like an overview of all the layers. So if you are interested, so the manifesting course, and I'll have to do this on my phone, the 50% off ends tomorrow. So I'll just link it for you guys. There's so many that's me talking. There we go. So yeah, if you want to go like really much deeper into it, then go into the whole course. So how do we start to heal these blocks and triggers, the ones that are stopping us from spending on what we really need and stop us from receiving what we truly desire? And I say stopping us from spending on what we really need, because and I used to do this, and Ryan used to laugh at me. I had this thing around spending money on what I wanted. I had like some trauma around that. And so what I would do is I'd be like, I really want this one thing, but because I wouldn't allow myself to, I would end up spending probably the same amount of money on like shit we didn't need, right? Have any of you ever done that, where there's almost like this guilt of you being able to have what you want, but we still blow it anyway, but on stuff that we didn't really want. It's like we don't actually let ourselves have what we need. And then the other one is receiving. So, oh, Lisa, I thought it was the 24th. That's the 22nd. Yeah, and then the other one is receiving money. And so this can happen in terms of, and this can be conditioning from when we work for someone. We only believe we can make as much money as we work, like an hourly rate. If you guys are going into business, you have to let go of that. The other one is that, what was it? It left me. Come back. That thinking that money can only come through one channel. So it's like, because they were conditioned, and I'm making an assumption that most of us had jobs, maybe you haven't, and this is not a good example for you, but that money can only come from one source. So we believe it can only come from our spouse, or we believe that it can only come from our business, or we believe that it can only come from Centrelink, whatever. You're like, there's a belief that it can only come from one source. And when I see abundance energetically, I see it as many lines. I see it as many sources coming in. I'm not going to restrict it just from one way, because then you're blocking what could come in for you. So, yeah, awareness. And that's really interesting. about having what you want is notice that if you go shopping or something. Okay, so step 1 is awareness. So I want you to notice over the next few days when there is money involved, do you tense up? So that could be going to the shops, that could be a bill coming in, that could be a potential client saying no, that could be looking at your bank account and like not liking what you're seeing, right? Do you tense up? Do you have a somatic response, right? For me, this has happened at looking at like a high-end or like a label shop. I would just walk past and be like, I don't shop at places like that. I'm not the type of person that would go in there. That would be really awkward. I probably wouldn't buy anything that's too expensive. But another part of me was like, oh my gosh, I'd love to have something like really high quality and treat myself a little bit. Wouldn't even let myself look at the shop, walk into the shop. I had tension in my body. My body would just go, no. And because of my past trauma around not having money, then I would go, if I do that, subconsciously, if I go and spend a lot of money on one item, I'm not going to have enough money. So I was saying there's no more money that's going to come in. This is all I have to replenish my bank account from what I've spent on that, right? There's a lot of fears like I don't deserve that, right? And in no way am I saying that you should go and a part of your task is to go to a designer shop and buy something designer. I'm not saying that. I will not be held accountable by your spouse. No. But what I'm saying is I want you to notice those things. I want you to notice, for me, when I used to get a bill, I used to be like, oh my God, I'm going to have a breakdown. I can't handle this. Or I would get really anxious and stressed and be like, oh my God, there's a bill. And then I'll put it off, I'll file it away, and then they'll get a reminder and they add more money on it. And I'm like, oh, and then I realized, I'm like, hang on a sec. If I look at it from a regulated state, actually it's around the same every quarter. So, or I can spread it out and just pay them direct debit because this is the average of what it would be every week. And then when I get the bill, I'm like, oh, that's fine. Now I get the bill and I'm like, oh, that's fine because my past self has looked after my current self around that, right? It's more of an awareness and an action exercise. I'm not telling you to pay your bills in a certain way. But another one is when you see someone else doing well financially, right? When you see someone else kind of living in a way that you wish you could, or having a business or a lifestyle the way that you could, that you wish that you had, sometimes it might come up as jealousy. Sometimes it might come up, we project our limiting beliefs onto them. Sometimes it might come up like, I'm really happy for them, that's incredible. And all of us are going to have different responses for all different reasons, right? But if you see that, if you're inspired by something, it's probably an indication that you can do that, but you just haven't got there yet. But those are actually your inspirations, especially if you feel jealous, right? Those are your inspirations. So notice, like, are you genuinely happy for them? Are you judging them? Don't judge yourself if you're judging them. Again, it's just an indicator. It's just have an awareness and go in and go, oh, what is it about their life that they're doing that I want to do that I'm not doing yet? And what do I need to sift through? How do I let my body know that it's safe to go to that level, right? And then how do you feel if you're talking to a friend about your finances, or a family member, or even like a financial advisor? How do you feel about your current circumstances and your current projection? And do you find yourself, and this is just an example, sometimes we might find ourselves blaming external reasons, right? So it could be the economy's not going that good. It's really hard. I mean, even with the lockdown stuff, yes, that was literally external circumstances that negatively affected people. But let's just say generally when it's not lockdown, right? Because that person did that. And this is all, again, us trying to find our ego, trying to find some excuse from the outside why we're not where we want to be, right? And again, it's just this thought. The main thing is the tension and the stress in the body. If you're having thoughts, it's a good indicator that you need to go into your body, because their thoughts are coming out of the tension and stress. So just remember, the body and nervous system is just trying to keep us safe. It has imprints from past trauma that it wants to avoid you feeling again. It wants you to avoid to feel the pain again. And whereas on the soul level, we'll often have to keep repeating a lesson until we resolve it. So either way, you got to face it, okay? So either way, having awareness is awesome, okay? So the other thing is that people don't often talk about with money stress is some people are almost addicted to the rush of the stress. Almost like that's just normal. So the normalization, the nervous system has biologically changed for that to be normal. And so they will sabotage the hell out of all the finances, because their nervous system is like, being stressed all the time is normal around money. And if I'm not stressed, that's not right. And I'm going to create drama and stress. And that can reflect in relationships and other areas. It just depends on our conditioning and our perspective and our nervous system, right? So keep that one in mind, because some people secretly get a rush and they're like, almost like, I can save myself. I'm very resourceful, and they create an identity around being broke, and being stressed all the time, and wear it as a badge. Might not be you, just again, examples for people. Okay. So every time you feel stressed about a transaction, of course, that is in your limit. I want you to notice the tension in your body. So get the information that you need. Figure out what the belief may be. So now we're going to do a couple of little things to lower it. So these are little things that I do to help me in those moments, okay, where I'm like, I really want that jacket for winter, but it's that fancy shop, and my body's just like, just go to a cheap shop, but I'm knowing that that jacket will fall apart in one season, right? Could be like that. Before we get into that, I want you to imagine the energy and abundance is like a river washing through the crown of your head, through your body. And as it rushes through, there can be rocks in the way that are blocking from it flowing, okay? So not only blocking from the flow of money, but they're blocking the ideas and creativity and the mind power to start educating yourself, making better decisions, making more money, how to nurture and grow our money, which in itself is the act of self-care and, of course, looking after our future selves. So when you notice one of the rocks in your river, when you notice that tension in your body or that contraction, I want you to, okay, so this is what I do. So it's a little bit of breath work. But I basically, and again, do what works for you. And if you have issues with breathing or heart issues, maybe don't try this. But I will, and I don't know the name of it. And I think maybe Yvonne, you've done breath work, you could probably tell me. But this is just what I do for myself, what I found has worked. I will literally get the information, notice it, notice anything coming up around it, but I'll literally go into the area. Sometimes I do it more quietly because I'm at the shops or because I'm in front of people or whatever. But I'll often do it when I notice it come up and it starts to loosen and release the tension. It already feels better just doing that. I feel so regulated. I should have done that at the start of the lesson. Number 2 is what I mentioned earlier. So that's safety and breath of fire, Yvonne. Awesome. I just channeled it, for activation. That's interesting. I don't know, for me, it just regulates me and releases that. So using your safety anchor, which is your resource, which is either thinking about that person, that place, that memory, that imagined place, nature, a beach, whatever it is for you, that when you think about it, you're just like, I feel so safe. So even if you need to close your eyes and ask your mind, what is the most safest time I've ever felt in my life? Or what is the safest place for me? And whatever that is, you can tune into that, bring up that memory. That can regulate you as well, to allow you to feel absolutely safe around making that decision. I don't want you to try and make yourself feel safe around spending more money than you have, right? For example, I want you to be very responsible and look after your future self, and don't want to get sued or anything. Okay, activation means working through the energy and nervous system. Thanks, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. So whenever you have that tension, either breathing through it, either bringing up a memory, or doing whatever you can that makes, like some people like to hug themselves. If there's something for you that some people just like to look up at the sky. I heard that even playing music with birds singing or going somewhere where birds are singing actually is very relaxing for our nervous system, because when we were in nature, in our caves and our huts, when birds are singing, that means there was no danger around. And so that activates something really deep into our nervous system, or deactivates, I should say, and allows for peace. So just play around, find something that works for you so that you can start to do the things that you need to do, so you stop creating the patterns or having the patterns happen that are causing the financial stress. You need to take radical responsibility, but you also really need to thank your body, be gentle with it, and regulate it in terms of that. So we love our nervous systems, we love our bodies, we love our human soul. But if it's stopping us from keeping or growing money, then yeah, we need to help it feel safe to do so again. Every time we feel a little bit safer, our window of tolerance of what we can tolerate gets bigger and bigger. And so someone that can attract and sign $1 million deal, their window of tolerance for knowing that that's available, being comfortable with that coming in, and then also accepting it and signing the contract and it coming into the bank account, they have to have that window of tolerance to allow that $1 million to come in. So I want you to think of that every time you have a new goal. Your job is to make that tolerable. For some people, they might make $100,000 but then spend $99,000. So then you've got to go, okay, how can I feel more comfortable with having $2,000 in my account? How can I feel more comfortable with having $5,000 in my account? And just edging slowly, right? So it's all a work in progress. Again, if you guys want to dive deeper, the manifesting course, the sale finishes tomorrow for the early bird. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. For those of you watching the replay as well, hello, and thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I hope you've got something to go away with and work with. And again, if you feel really triggered and you don't have someone to work through with it, you can go to our practitioner directory. So it's the Centre, Aussie Way Centre, CENTRE, the centreofhealing.com/practitioner directory. Yeah, so it's not about, Yvonne, it's not about these huge leaps that put us in a shutdown state. It's just about edging every day and getting there. Such a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks, Yvonne and Lisa, Pauline, Uni, Alison. I think I got you all. And Tom, some people might have messaged, and because I'm on eCam, it might not have come through. I'm happy to answer any questions if you guys have any. Otherwise, I'll start wrapping it up. You've probably got plenty to think about. And if you know anyone that this will be helpful for, please tag them in this. Please share it with them. If you're someone that wants to make some extra abundance, extra income, we do have an affiliate program. So just comment that you'd be interested in that. We can send you the info on that. So you get a kickback for sharing our courses and everything like that. So win-win-win. Love it. You're welcome, guys. Thanks, Rebecca. Have a beautiful rest of the morning, lunchtime and evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.